Greetings. Welcome to Little Steps. My name is Tim. You can reach me at howdoidotthis01@yahoo.com. Today we're going to cover a lesson on copying, pasting, dragging, and dropping. Please follow along with this and hopefully practice and learn to do this. Make this particular lesson here is second nature when you're using your computer, and you will find that you will shortly be looking at people wondering how come they can't do this, but more importantly you will be very efficient at using Windows, and make special note of this, other operating systems as well. This function of cut, copy, drag, and drop is a universal function between most operating systems that are out there on the market today. Windows, Linux, Macintosh/Apple, Unix, most of them support the drag and drop feature, the copy and paste feature. So without wasting too much more time, let's get in and have a little fun here. Now first off, let's make a note. You have to pay attention when you're working within the Windows environment which window is active. The window is active when it's highlighted, not grayed out. Secondly, when you're in the active window, you need to learn to mark or highlight your text, or in this case, an object. The object or text is simply a way of saying that the computer sees it, and the way that you know that the computer sees the object or the text is by it turns it blue. Okay? Now you have several options. You can left click and hold the mouse button down and drag it across the object or text, and you can left click on the top and drag down to the right. That will also mark the text. You can place your cursor on text, hit your shift key and use your down arrow or your right arrow key, and that will mark the text. Okay, so be aware of that. You have options for marking your text. Highlighting and marking your text are critical. Also highlighting an object. Let's go here and I'll demonstrate real quickly. In order to mark your text, you have to have something on the canvas. So let's pick a square. Let's pick something here and put it down. You have a gray box. You have a pink box. Now if I copy it by marking it, now you notice I use my selection tool here. I can right click on it and then I can copy it. I can use the drop down to cut, copy, and paste from here. I can also select all. Now by virtue of doing this, by selecting it, by using my selection tool right here, by left clicking and dragging it over, in this case you don't see it marked or highlighted, but you can see the outline of the area that you've marked off. So it's not blue, but you can tell that it is in fact selected. That's why this is a selection tool. So now if I copy it, then I can minimize this. I can then proceed to go to another window, and wow, I pasted it. So you can paste an object into a text document, and you can go back here and mark this by left clicking and highlighting it, and then I can copy it, and then if I go back to my paint window and I use this, now you'll notice I use the text tool. I can then paste the text over the top. Now let's change that to a clear background so I don't see the background color, and if I paste, you'll notice I have text, which gives me the option here of going through and pasting it in any format that I want, and then I can also use the down arrows here to move the object here on the screen or in the selection box here, and I can in fact go up here and I can place it inside of the box. So you can manipulate things once you've selected it. Be aware of that, and then once you've set it, you've got your text. It can universally translate between programs. You'll notice I had the Paint window open. You can use other programs such as OpenOffice.org. That's a free program you can get online. You can also use Paint.net at www.paint.net, another free program or open source program. They don't charge you to download or use the program. Free is a very good price, so be aware of that. Now if I highlight this, I can hit the delete button, and that will remove it from the box or the active window. And then I can also, once you've selected, if I left click and drag and select this particular text, if I now have it selected and marked or highlighted, and then I left click and hold down my left mouse button, I can drag my mouse over here into this other box. It's not the active window, but if I drag it over, my cursor changes to a little box with a plus sign, and then I let go of my mouse button. Voila! That's dragging and dropping. So you have two options. You can cut, copy, and paste, or you can physically drag and drop. It also works here in this window. Let me mark this off here and clear this text out of here. Oops. And then do that. Now if I go down here, I should be able to take this. I don't think I can drag and drop here. Nope. You notice the little circle with this line through it? It will not allow me to do it. However, I can right click and copy it, and if I hit my selection tool, then I can paste it, and it will show up in the Paint window. So there are limits. There are certain things you can and can't do, and this is absolutely critical why you need to practice, why you need to learn how to do this function, because this function here will enable you to be so much more efficient using Windows, using the programs within the Windows environment and translating between the different programs within the Windows environment and other operating systems. Learning how to do this is probably going to be the critical factor in whether or not you become very efficient and very good at using Windows. I can't emphasize enough that this is probably one of the most important lessons that you will ever have to learn using Windows and the Windows environment on any version of Windows. This is part of making it work. The GUI interface, the mouse drag and drop click method is great, but also remember to use your keys as well. You have your cut, copy, and paste, which also correlates to your keyboard shortcuts. You have Control X, Control C, and Control V, and you also have Control A to select all, as well as other options. Please make note of these. Please practice these and use these. The better you get at using these shortcuts, the better you get at using copying and pasting, dragging and dropping, and literally dragging and dropping between programs is going to make it much, much easier. If I take notes online and I want to drag and drop the text into a text document, I can just drag and drop it. A lot of people want to sit there and type it out, and you don't have to do that. You can save yourself a lot of time. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please tune in for the rest of my series. Go to my website and follow along, and good luck and continue practicing.